I now request Shri Lalit Kumar Jain, Chairman, Kumar Urban Development Limited and Chairman Khidai. So for the next 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, Shri Lalit Kumar Jain. Please, a round of applause.
I really admire consistency of Chaturvedi family and in fact their contribution to this industry because they have been performing and trying to do whatever in terms of imparting knowledge to this industry, and I really compliment Senior Chaturvedi and his two dynamic sons. Today, very appropriately, we see Mr. R.C. Sinha to discuss urban infrastructure. And I remember that when he retired from the state, he was invited by various states and he was given Chief Secretary rank in Andhra just to advise that state, and thereafter he moved from state to state and came back to Maharashtra. Mihan is to his credit and many things. So I've known him a little bit and I really admire this state could have officers like him, because nowadays delay is the name of the game. Yesterday I heard that my very dear friend Nayan Shah got first permission under the new fungible rule. So it is celebrated that somebody got a sanction. Last year, urban areas added 65% to the GDP of the country. By 2020, it will be 85% of the entire GDP. And we are talking of 80% income generated from this small geographical area. And currently it is 24% of population, which will soon be almost 40% of population. We used to grow at 3% per annum. Now we are growing almost 6 to 8% per annum in urban areas. The 65% of the citizens are youth below 35 of age, and they need dignity living, they need dignified jobs. And the apathy is, everybody knows it. Planning Commission documents it very well. However, when it comes to allocation of funds, $1 trillion is required in 5-year plan for urban infrastructure, and we can provide only 2,76,000 crore. So that means it helps nobody. It really goes nowhere. And we ultimately face a situation of urban gridlock. There may be law and order situation arising out of this gridlock. Dissatisfaction will lead to a lot of political turmoil in the future. This is what we feel if we do not address the situation in time. By 2050, Mumbai MMR population will be more than 5 crore. Now, as a businessman, I see this as a huge opportunity. But as a prudent student of urban science, I see the big threat coming on. And though answers are known because there are huge number of intelligentsia in our policy making, our bureaucracy and politicos. However, what we lack is political willpower. If every person in the system thinks that his attitude towards discharging a duty is to expedite, is to accelerate the work, then maybe situation will change. However, we have been hearing about delays everywhere. Point is, when I studied urban reforms, and very recently we were in an offsite to discuss affordable housing, what should be the policy for the country. there are 28 reports of various universities on this issue of affordable housing and urban infrastructure. And the first cause or first issue they identify is administrative reform. And what it says? It says that due to administrative hurdles, employment is delayed by 2.2 to 12% depending on countries to country. So if 2% of population would have got added employment in a year, it did not go through because of administrative hurdles. The net GDP impact, the loss of GDP due to administrative hurdles is anywhere between 0.2 to 1.2 of GDP. So suppose we grow at 8%, almost 15% is the contribution, negative contribution of this administrative delays. So if we talk about any reform, whether it is revolution in urban infrastructure, the first thing that we need to address is the aspect of administrative efficiency. In our own country, there are cities where architects and developers do not go to corporation. And you know which city? Patna. Where they do not see anybody's face in the corporation for approval. Architects approve the plans. In our own city of Hyderabad, there are three aspects which are majorly checked: side margin, building to building distance, parking, road width. The building inspector do not enter into the building for any verification. He just checks the side margin and issues occupation certificate. And in our city here, I have just given you an example, I don't have to speak much. The added costs just due to administrative delay is up to 40% of sale value. I am not saying this, McKinsey says this. To whom? To the group of ministers in Union of India. 40%. And it's very simple logic. For any plan approval to take 3 years, the land cost within 3 years it doubled, everybody knows. And land cost contributes to 30% of the state. Besides other costs, which I can't say. Are we really going to wake up? Are we going to take pride in doing something which adds small amount to the kitty of corporation? Or we really think that? Do we want to show our intelligence just by saying I have got so much of premium? Or we want to take pride that this city contributed substantially higher due to accelerated development? What do we want? And the apathy is, we do not speak. We think we will be damaged, our interest will be compromised by speaking. It is other way around. If stakeholders do not speak, then few people who may be right in that small perspective but are doing big wrong to the country. Delay in execution is directly compromising the interest of the country. The GDP growth is obstructed if due to administrative delay is a crime. And I think let people, let citizens, let media, let stakeholders speak about it. So when we talk of infrastructure or we talk of any revolution, because the planning commission document talks of 27 million housing shortage. FICCI recent report talks of 50 crore people requiring additional home by 2025. How are we going to do it? It's a real shame that problem is known, solution is known, but we can't implement it. There are 5 reforms which generally helped various countries to recoup with these demands. First is administrative reform, second is land reform. Now land reform. The global urban science talks of high density vertical development. The Kyoto Protocol talks of saving green land. And what we are doing? FAR1, additional TDR1 or FAR 1.33. So what are we doing? Destroying green land, going horizontal. The physical infrastructure is getting costlier, or rather, not doable. If you want efficient physical infrastructure, you have to go concise, dense, vertical. Then you get density on mass transit system, then you get efficiency on your drainage and water line. Otherwise, you imagine the treatment plant, the supply and the slopes. Issue is, when are we going to wake up? This city, no citizen can really imagine, every citizen, I am leaving aside the 5 or 7% of the upper crust, that he can own a home with a travelling time of 20 minutes or 20 minutes. And major socio-economic issues arise out of travelling time, because that person who travels 1.5 hours one way cannot do justice to the family. Is anybody going to think about it? When we talk of density, immediate question is, how do we provide the infrastructure for that dense development? In London, the Swiss Re building, the total number of parking is 13 for 7.5 lakh square feet. How much? 13. Officially permitted 11. 2 special concession was given. What are we doing? We will do more than 300 parking for that kind of building, or rather 750 parking as per 1,000 per square car norm. Why can't we really think of network of metro and really look towards that and do it? Why do we need one car park per 1,000 or 500 square feet? That adds to the cost. Your road strength cannot take that kind of road. When are we really going to think? And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. The whole world knows it. The science is known. Why can't we implement it? When are we going to talk of unlimited FAR, where you exploit the land potential so that land component cost on the built-up area is reduced and your physical infrastructure is viable? And then a flood comes of supply, where your 10,000 rupees per square feet comes down to 2,500 rupees or 3,000 rupees. So we don't require rocket science for this, but let us just awaken ourselves or create that willpower to do the right things. Then we come to tax reform. World over, revolution in housing supply has happened through tax reform. And therefore, we need to really go. I got a cheat, so I will not speak much. So, friends, point is, no, I think I must follow the discipline, but will definitely speak at later some occasion. Friends, just one message. Let us wake up.